Hello there and welcome to Inquiring Minds. My name is Doug and I'm back with another fountain pen review. Today we're going to look at the new Hongdian A9, a cartridge converter version of the piston filler N10 from Hongdian. Confused as to model numbers? Well, you're not alone.
What's the matter, Pop? I'm confused.
But don't worry, it doesn't matter in the least, and I frankly don't give a darn.
Why? I don't know. He's on third, and I don't give a darn. I said I don't give a darn. Oh, that's our shortstop.
They could call it the new Hongdian Fred for all I care.
Fatty Fred Flintstone sings you music to twitch by.
But this new model inherits the very interesting moiré pattern metal finish from the N10. It dispenses with the piston in favor of a cartridge converter, keeps the number 8 size steel nib, but adds a much needed plastic section, giving it a nice grip on a very desirable pen. So let's take a look at the details about this new pen right now. So another day, another Chinese package, and another Chinese package that I really haven't got a clue what it is. So let's open it up and find out. Well, it looks Chinese. Let's see. It's in a Pen BBS box. These are what the specialty acrylics like Amber is a Cat come in from Pen BBS, these aluminum boxes. Ah, this is the new A9. I did order this, so this is very similar to the N10, only this is a piston filler and this is a cartridge converter. And actually, I wasn't all that fond of the N10. It's a piston filler with a couple of portholes and a number 8 size nib, big black number 8. And this one has a big silver number 8 and a plastic section, and it's a cartridge converter. So I heard a lot of people have been very fond of this pen, and that's an F nib. I'm not sure that it came in anything other than EF or an F, and also that the section is very slick because it's made of that same very fine material. But this has a plastic section, very thick, and the pen posts not too badly. It's back weighted a bit. Upscale converter. You can take these converters apart very easily for maintenance. I like that a lot, and the fact that they're reinforced. Their nipples are reinforced, which is good, because you know how we pen lovers are hard on our nipples. So it has a nice top finial, an interesting clip, different than the teardrop kind of clip that was on the N10, springy, and that lovely moiré pattern laser etching. So I think I know what ink I'm going to put in this pen, and we'll put it through its paces. This is the Hongdian A9 cartridge converter pen. I'll show the parts and features of this pen, show some size comparisons and measurements, and then provide a writing sample. And then I'll talk about what I like and what I don't like so much about this fountain pen. Overall, the pen is roughly the same size and shape as the N10 from Hongdian. Here they are together, but the A9 has an arrow point clip, a much smaller cap band, and a shortened top finial. And all the hardware on the A9, short of the nib itself, is ruthenium plated. All of this adds up to, in my opinion, the only one I have to go on, a much more attractive pen than the N10. From the top we see a Hongdian logo of the chicken of peace surrounded by some scroll work or laurel leaves or something, and the model number A9 just below the chicken. The finial tapers down to the cap and has Hongdian on one side and the model number A9 again on the other. The clip extends from the finial and is nicely long and tapering, nicely springy, and has that really nice arrow point. Vaguely suggesting Parker, but very vaguely. The cap is straight to the very thin tapering cap band. The cap and the barrel are clad in an extruded material that I'm assuming is aluminum that has this very fine moiré pattern laser etched onto it. It is silky smooth and moves with a barber pole effect when you rotate the pen. The pen has two smooth lines, one on each side, which does not have that pattern. The barrel is straight almost to the end and tapers slightly towards the flat end. The cap unscrews with 1 1/4 turns to reveal the tapering black plastic section, which has a smooth flare towards the number 8 size steel fine Hongdian nib and black ebonite feed. The section is long, thick, and comfortable. And the smooth lines of the cap line up with the lines on the barrel only when you find, click, click, one of the 3 starts to the thread that lines up those lines for you. So for you OCD people, it's 3 clicks to 3 and you're there. Let's look closer at this nib. It has some elaborate scroll work, a banner with Hongdian in the middle, an F for fine, and since 1997 on the bottom. And the nib and feed are part of a nib assembly that unscrews for swapping or maintenance. The section unscrews to reveal the included Hongdian branded converter, the metal nozzle of the section, and a silicone O-ring right at the top that keeps the barrel from unscrewing during use. When the section unscrews, you get the cap threads at the top of the barrel and the section by itself, and the top of that extruded aluminum part has a small ruthenium coated ring that disappears under the cap band when you cap the pen. Really nice subtle design considerations there. The inside of the cap shows a black plastic cap liner that seals the nib from evaporation. The cap posts more deeply and securely than the N10, and it backweights the pen a bit, and it's very long. I don't write with this pen posted, but it wouldn't be a stretch to change your grip a little bit to use it when it's posted. The N10, on the other hand, is not usable posted, in my opinion. Unposted, the pen is nicely balanced and comfortable in the hand, especially with that non-slippery, thick, long section. And I think it looks terrific with that large number 8 size steel nib. My OCD does flare up a little bit that line there does not line up with the nib. It's slightly off center, but I try to ignore those things and go on living my life normally. I bought this pen from Sally on her Asvine Amazon store, where it sells for $38.99 Canadian, or around $28 US. There is a link to the Amazon store purchase in the description below. It comes in 3 colors, blue, brown, and green, with 2 nib choices, EF and F. On camera, I know this looks blue, but it really is a teal blue, blue-green kind of color in reality. Now let's look at some size comparisons. And here we are with the Hongdian A9 with a Hongdian N10 piston filler, a Hongdian N12 piston filler, an Asvine P20 piston filler, and a Narwhal Schuylkill Porpita piston filler. Now let's look at them posted. And here they are posted. Of these 5 pens, the Hongdian A9 and N12 post the best. These 2, of course, are number 8 size nibs, whereas these 3 are number 6 size steel nibs. This is not the Asvine P20's nib. I pulled that nib and put a Kaigaloo long knife or long blade nib into it. I love this P20 in Galaxy. Now let's look at them unposted. And here they are unposted. Now let's look at some measurements, and I'll be back with a writing sample. And we're back with the writing portion of the review. This is Clairefontaine 90 GSM paper, and this is the Hongdian A9, and it has a number 8 steel fine nib. And let's check the wetness. Well, it's nicely wet. And the nib is smooth now, but out of the box it had a bit of scratch to it in one direction. So a few seconds with some 12,000 grit micromesh, and it was just as right as rain. And the ink today is a Roshizuku Kujaku, which I think is a really, really nice match to this pen. The Amazon store where this is for sale calls this color blue. Even though on camera it looks blue, I assure you that this is a teal blue-green color, and it matches this blue-green Iroshizuku ink very nicely. As to line variation, you can squeeze a little bit of line variation out of this nib, and it has some nice bounce to it. Let's close up on that so you can see. So this is a really nice number 8 size nib, and the line this nib makes is 0.5 millimeters, which makes it a Western fine or a Japanese fine to medium on my Richard Binder line width chart, which you can find linked in the description below. And for our quote. And for some reverse writing, it's a lot drier and a lot thinner, but the flow is keeping up. So sketchers, this might be a nice nib for you. And for some quick writing. I'm sure you can all read that. It says, easy for you to say. So what do I like and what do I not like about this fountain pen? Well, I like this Hongdian A9 much more than the N10 piston filler. The N10 is longer, less well balanced, doesn't post in any usable way, and has a very slippery section. The A9 is much improved on the N10, although it is a cartridge converter, and perhaps because it's a cartridge converter, the A9 is better balanced and posts in an actually usable way. I can see myself actually being able to write with this pen posted. Unposted, it is very, very comfortable, and that section has a lot to do with it. In fact, that's the big difference between these two pens, is that large black section instead of a smaller, slick metal section on the N10. Both pens have the same number 8 size nib and are interchangeable with each other. The only difference is the N10, on mine at least, has this black enamel coating on it. And those of you with eagle eyes would have already noticed that the N10's nib has a silver tip. And that's because I made a boo-boo. I'm so sorry, I made a mistake.
I'm so sorry, I made a mistake.
When I was replacing the number 8 nib on the N10 after pulling it for my review, I wasn't able to get it to sit all the way back into that nib collar. And I went against all of my own advice about checking cap clearances before and after replacing or swapping nibs. Technically, I wasn't swapping the nib, I was simply putting it back, but still. Even though the nib was extended by only about a millimeter, it was enough for that cap to crunch that nib and snap off one of the tines.
Oh no.
So it was an opportunity for me to perform another one of my nib brisses, a nibectomy you might say, and grind it into a stub. And the pen actually writes with an even more interesting line than it did previously. So I took it from disaster to a pleasant writing nib. I think I was lucky. Makes me want to write with this pen a little bit more than I did previously. But this pen is very nice and I will write with it, even though I have to crank it a few times to keep it from pissing me off because of that stripe.
Don't piss me off, Art.
And there you have it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell to get instant notifications whenever a new video is posted. And you can join as a member of my channel for only 99 cents a month, and I guarantee I'll answer your comments in the comment section, and you'll get cool emojis, badges, sneak peek unboxing videos, as well as instant access to my videos the moment I post them. And that just leaves it for me to say thank you for watching, and that's all she wrote.
I made this.